Imagine you are at a college party, dancing under the strobe lights, having the time of your life. You meet this charming guy, hit it off, maybe even share a kiss. But something in his eyes makes you hesitate when he invites you back to his place. You brush it off, think you are just being paranoid. The next morning, you wake up feeling like death, a phone number scribbled on a paper beside you. The only memory of the night. Then the sirens, the police, the news whispers about decaying bodies and a gruesome secret. Suddenly, that charming guy isn't so charming anymore. You realize you stumbled into the darkness, danced with death, and barely escaped its grip. I'm sharing my terrifying story, a reminder that sometimes the monsters wear the best masks. Let me take you down a rabbit hole of chilling suspense, where trust is a gamble and a single missed step could mean the difference between life and death. The glitter on the disco ball danced in my bleary eyes, strobe lights painting the crowded dorm room in fleeting neon. My roommate Sarah had dragged me to this frat party, her usual Friday night ritual, promising I wouldn't regret it. Being the studious type, I usually preferred the company of dusty textbooks to sticky dance floors. But Sarah's infectious enthusiasm wore me down. And then there was Mark. He materialized in the hazy periphery of the room, his smile as sharp as his jawline, his eyes like melted caramel. We talked, laughed, even shared a stolen kiss in the dim corner of the hallway, the heat of the touch sending a shiver down my spine. He invited me back to his place, but something in his eyes, a flicker too dark, made me hesitate. I politely declined, the alcohol fog thinning enough for caution to sleep through. Back in the sterile confines of our dorm room, sleep claimed me in waves. I woke up, the world titled, nausea swirling in my stomach like a bad omen. On the bedside table, amidst crumpled tissues and discarded candy wrappers, lay a scrap of paper. A phone number, scribbled in a messy handwriting, stared back at me, a silent reminder of the night before. My head throbbed, and a cold sweat prickled my skin. I called the number, half expecting a voicemail, half dreading an answer. But the voice that greeted me was Mark's, smooth and familiar, tinged with surprise. He invited me over again, his words laced with a subtle pressure I couldn't ignore. That's when the memories came flooding back. A kaleidoscope of flashing lights and dizzy laughter. My phone slipped from my clammy hand, clattering onto the floor. The nausea returned, a metallic taste rising in my throat. Panic clawed at me, a primal instinct screaming danger. The next thing I remember was the blinding flash of red and blue lights, the blur of uniformed figures crowding around my bed. My head spun, the sterile smell of disinfectant burning my nostrils. A kind-faced nurse explained I'd had an allergic reaction, a rare one, triggered my bodily fluids from decaying flesh. My heart stuttered in my chest. Decaying flesh? Sarah, her face etched with worry, squeezing my hand. Then the whispers started, carried by the hushed murmurs of the nurses. Two decomposing bodies, Mark's apartment, a gruesome discovery. The pieces clicked into place, the phone number, the invitation, the unease. I had danced on the precipice of a nightmare, a whisper away from becoming another statistic in Mark's macabre collection. The world titled again, this time with horror, not dizziness. The investigation confirmed my suspicions. Mark, the charming party boy, was a monster in disguise, his apartment a tomb for his victims. I wasn't the first he had targeted, just the one who unknowingly brushed against his darkness and lived to tell the tale. The days that followed were a blur of grief, fear, and a strange, unsettling gratitude. The brush with death had etched itself onto my soul, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the insidiousness of evil that can lurk beneath the most charming facades. My world shrank, The once vibrant campus halls now haunted by the ghosts of what could have been. I learned to trust my instincts, to listen to the whispers of unease that flicker in the shadows before they engulf you in darkness. The experience changed me. I became less naive, more cautious, a shadow of the girl who had once danced with strangers in a disco ball haze. But somewhere beneath the fear, a spark of strength ignited. I stared into the abyss and blinked away the darkness. And while the party nights and carefree laughter became a distant memory, I learned a valuable lesson. The greatest danger sometimes isn't the darkness itself, but the seductive flicker of a smile that hides a monster within. Subscribe for more. Thanks for listening.